Hi everyone, Steve the Mentalist here, and welcome to my video on Wiz and Liz. So, my last video I made on Wiz and Liz was all about just a general playthrough of the game and showing off how awesome it is, pretty much. This video will kind of follow on from the last one. Basically, I'm going to show you all the bosses in the game and the general strategy of how to beat them. So, let's begin. Okay, so this is the first boss that you come across in the game. This is the first and only boss in the apprentice levels, and it's called the Freaky Flower. Now the strategy for beating him is actually quite easy. He's going to come in on the left hand side, there we go, and you just hold the A button to make the spell appear, and he'll move to the right, and he basically follow this pattern. So it's kind of like one revolution of his head from side to side, and then he'll move to that side. So he'll go head to the right, head to the left, head to the right, and start to move now. I mean, it's really no trouble beating this guy. For as long as you stay where his stem is, as I was doing, it's as easy as that. It shouldn't cause you any major problems. What didn't happen this time when I fought him is that I kind of took out his eyes fairly quickly, so sometimes you can take out one eye much faster than the other just purely by how well your spell actually hits his eyes versus his nose. If that's the case, sometimes you want to run past underneath to the kind of the danger side. So if he's on the left hand side, you're kind of tempted to run under to the left to get that left hand side bit of his eye if you haven't got it already. And that's possibly the only way he's going to hit you, but otherwise he's really not that hard. Okay, on to boss number 2 now. It's the first boss of the wizard levels, called Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes, at least for me, is pretty tricky actually. So he'll come up with his snake tail from the bottom, and that's the thing that, if he hits you, is going to damage you. Basically what you want to do is try and jump over his tail, just the timing of which can be a bit inconvenient. So I don't know if I should have jumped. Oh, I got lucky there. So again, it's a similar deal with Freaky Flower. You just hit his eyes first, and then you can go for his mouth in this case rather than the nose in Freaky Flower. I'm actually doing pretty well against him. I normally take at least one hit by now, just because the tail rises at a time when I don't expect it to. Like here, I'm going to struggle. Yep, should have jumped earlier, and again here. Oh, got lucky. So that's the main problem with him, is just you might take 1 or 2 hits. You shouldn't really die against Snake Eyes though. And again, like Freaky Flower, he's not so bad. It's just a matter of timing, but I think the timing is a bit off from what you might expect. So the basic idea is that the tail does kind of go out of sync with as it moves across the screen each time. So again, it can lead to situations that you saw then when I got hit by the tail, and there wasn't really much I could do about it unless I jumped really early on, but then I would get less of a hit on him. So it's kind of a trade-off really. It depends what you think is best at the time, and obviously if you've not been hit too many times, it's probably worth just taking the hit. Okay, so the third boss that you come up against is called the Creepy Clock. So this is the guy you face at the end of the wizard levels. It's the third boss overall, as I've said. This one I actually think is arguably easier than Snake Eyes once you know what's happening. So he's going to come out down from the top at the moment, and that pendulum is one of the things you want to try and avoid. Again, I kind of messed up there. I should have ducked or just walked under it. I decided to jump. I don't know why. The other thing you've got to avoid are these 2 cogs that fall down from the side. But he spends most of his time towards you on the ground, such that it's never really a problem with the pendulum. If it is, you have to kind of jump over it maybe twice. So that was twice, and I'll do a 3rd time just to make sure. But as for the cogs, I say they come down periodically. All you have to do is really stay in the centre, which is a good strategy for most bosses actually. So if you kind of stay around here, especially when you're doing his eyes, you should be safe from harm really. And hopefully this will get his other eye in a couple of seconds. There we go. So it's you want to start by doing the locket, then I think it's his nose, then his eyes, then the pendulum. The pendulum is arguably the easiest one to get because you don't have to actively jump to get it. Whereas pretty much everything else you have to jump and get. And there you go. Simple as that. Okay, so the fourth boss you come across is called the Savage Pumpkin. Now, this is the first boss you come across in the Sorcerer levels, and it's kind of reminiscent of the Freaky Flower. He's going to come in on the left hand side, and he's going to bounce kind of like in this pattern. It's fairly predictable. Where you want to be, so when he comes on the right, the tree stump here where I was is probably the best place for you to stay if you don't want to get injured. When he comes in the left, you can stay on the middle, and then the tree on the right again gives you a good idea of where you want to be to avoid taking any damage. Now, what I said for the Freaky Flower about running to the other side is very much applicable to the Savage Pumpkin. So I'm actually doing quite well. I'm getting everything done evenly here, and I've still not taken any damage, luckily. It's just a matter of getting into a rhythm with this guy. Like I said, it's reminiscent of the Freaky Flower in that it requires a very set rhythm, and if you kind of keep doing that rhythm, you're really not going to struggle. Just his nose, and then he's dead. Okay, so this is the fifth boss that you come against, which is called the Evil Oak. Now, this one can cause you a bit of problem if you're not really aware of the pattern. And I'll explain that as I go along in the video. So first of all, it comes kind of rising out from the floor. And I think the first place he goes to is the middle, so I'm going to stand to the right. And basically what happens is he's going to kind of shake his branches and those acorns fall down. Now I think he goes to the left first. Nope, it's the right. 50-50 chance. So basically you just got to hit him in the nose for a while. He'll go to the left now. Yep, that's the right pattern. So you've got to hit him in the nose for a while, then the eyes, and then each one of the acorns. So this boss can really take some time. And again, he'll go to the middle after he's been on the left. Now, I think he goes to the left again. I could be wrong here. Yes, he does. It's a very unusual pattern that he takes. I always get it wrong at least for one hit. He'll go to the right. Yeah. So, yeah, the main problem with the boss is not knowing where he's going to land, and also those acorns. I bet he's going to go to the right after this now. As long as you stand in certain places, the acorns aren't so bad. See, I managed to get the pattern right halfway through the boss. It's just the initial step. He kind of seems to kind of go one way, then fully back on himself. So now he's gone to the left. I think afterwards he's going to go towards the middle. But if you know where to stand with regards to the acorns, then it's not so bad. My guess he's going to go to the left. Oh, okay, I killed him. So I think then he would have gone to the left. So he has a pattern where it's middle, right, left, middle, left, right, middle. He kind of repeats that pattern a little bit. I may have missed one or two steps exactly from where he repeats, but based on my experience, I've fought this guy in about 2-3 times in as many days now, just to kind of prepare generally for videos like this. So I think that's the general pattern that you want to be careful of. Okay, so now we're on the 6th boss overall, the 3rd one in Sorcerer, which is the Gatekeeper. Now, I think this boss is easier than the Evil Oak, but word to the wise, it's probably best not to start doing this boss when you really need the toilet and you can't pause the game. So it's a race against time for everyone, really. Basically, what you've got to do is these teeth that fall out are what you've got to start with hitting first. I don't know off the top of my head if there is a easy to kind of see pattern in when the teeth come out. You can see when they kind of protrude, and that's when you should be careful. But in terms of exactly when the teeth are going to come out in what order, I'm not sure. I've never really sat down and thought about it. So basically, this is how you start. is you kind of get yourself between two teeth and just keep wailing on them, really. You can get stuck, that is between two teeth, and it knocks you against the edge and you just get hit. And that normally happens, say, when you're on the right side of that tooth then, or maybe, like, it's kind of hard really to describe, but basically if you're just caught on the edge teeth pretty much when they come down, that's when you're going to be in trouble. And this boss just takes ages, especially because the teeth that you've already targeted can also come down again, so you just have to wait it out. I think, to be fair, once you destroy the teeth, then it does give a prevalence to those which haven't come down or haven't been destroyed. I may be wrong on that. Oh, God damn it! It's just there's like two teeth on the edge. Okay, one tooth left that's on the edge, and it's not protruded in about 4 or 5 goes. Finally, right, now you defeat the teeth, you just have to hit his eyes first and then his nostrils. This is one of the reasons why the fight takes so long, is because you have to jump to hit his eyes, otherwise it automatically goes for the nose, unless you're kind of out to the side like I'm trying to do here. Okay, so I've got one. This is kind of the one and only reason why this boss is that hard, is, again, as all bosses, there's a pattern. I could be screwed here. Oh no, I'm alright. But this boss has a very distinctive pattern. But the problem is, if you're trying to concentrate taking the eyes out, you can quite easily get hit by the teeth that are coming down. I've actually done alright so far, apart from not really getting to that right eye until now. When it comes down to the nostrils, it's quite easy. You just, again, like all bosses, try and position yourself towards the centre as much as possible. This boss, it's much harder to do that than others, purely because this middle tooth is really coming down, and I messed up badly then. I should have avoided that hit. Okay, so this is the final boss of the game, and the final boss of the sorcerer levels, which is called the Deadly Dragon. Now, this guy, I remember fighting a lot as a kid, because this guy's really hard, to put it politely. So, as I found out after playing it for the last few days, he does actually have a pattern. The problem is his pattern's quite hard to execute. So he'll come down, and he's unique versus the other bosses in that his only weak point is his mouth. And he can only be attacked once he fills in colour, now. So I'm standing here because he's going to do a blue fire attack first. Oh, look at that, now that was lucky. And then he'll proceed by doing these orange fire attacks. It's quite hard to dodge. You just have to be careful when he's doing the fast ones and when he's doing the slow firing, like that. That's quite easy to dodge, as is that. That one I got lucky. And normally if you stay around this part, where I am now, it makes it quite easy. Oh, I shouldn't have jumped there, and I even realised that. And even then, I shouldn't have run. It's really intense fighting this guy. I may beat him first time, I actually don't know. It's close. I messed up then. Come on. Green dragon. Word I can't say on YouTube anymore. No. Yes! Oh. God, that was tense. Yeah, so even when I knew the pattern, I had one hit left and then that would have killed me. Oh, possibly the most stressful part of playing Wiz and Liz, apart from the last few sorcerer levels. So, yeah, so that was the Deadly Dragon. So, the main thing, when he uses the blue fire attack, you want to station yourself near the gates in the areas that I showed. The area is more or less consistent, so if you keep approximately to that area, you should be okay. And as for the orange fire, you just have to be kind of watch where the fire is going and try and do little jumps to jump over the fire when it gets close to the ground. That's obviously easier said than done. You can see when I tried to do it, I struggled on occasion. I also made some silly mistakes, to be fair. When I ran across when I shouldn't have done. But generally you want to run from corner to corner, and you kind of want to be in the opposite corner to where he is at all times. The problem with doing that is when he comes across the middle, as you do, there's a chance he'll do an attack, and it'll be a fast fireball, and you'll just get hit as you run across. And that happened to me once or twice. Yep, so anyway, that was the final boss of Wiz and Liz. Rambled a bit towards the end there, but hopefully that's helped some of you out, particularly against the Deadly Dragon, which is definitely the boss which gives people a lot of trouble. I've been Steve the Mentalist. As always, if you like my video, give it a thumbs up. And also, if you do like these videos in general, please do subscribe to my channel. I'll try and make videos around once a week, and as I've said in my descriptions, they'll be on different consoles. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.